Welcome to the most must-watch WSUW YouTube channel in history. Welcome to First Round KO.
Enjoy the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Howard J. Dingers. And this is 3 Count Review.
welcome to Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw edition. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Howard Dingers, and welcome to 3 Count Review, the Monday Night Raw edition presented by First Round KO. Today, I am joined by Tyler Jobe.
Hey, what's going on?
And Callahan Steed.
How you doing?
We don't say that anymore.
Sorry.
Bada boom, real guys in the room.
How you doing?
Have you guys heard about him? You hear what happened to him over the weekend? The big one.
Big Cass,
Yeah.
had a seizure.
Yeah, he was at the House of Hardcore event for Tommy Dreamer, and before his match out in the lobby, he had a seizure. Yeah, he's apparently fine. We don't know what happened. Even when he was getting stretchered out, he was, like waving and telling people thanks for coming and thanks for the support and everything. Like,
Wow.
yeah, apparently he was okay pretty quickly after.
Okay, that's good.
So from what I've heard, he's okay. But yeah,
Does anyone know what
scary
Enzo's doing?
trying to rap.
Showing up at WWE
And
events.
trying to do a comedy show too. So that was the whole stunt with Survivor Series. So during the AOP versus the Bar match, he popped up in his front row. Jeez, bumped the mic. That probably sounded great. He popped up during the thing, tried to like do his bada boom realest guy in the room thing. He got tackled by security and taken out. Later that night in Los Angeles, I think at like 2 a.m, he had a comedy gig in the city. And he tried to sell out because he was like, I was just at Survivor Series. I'm in the news. But, like, apparently, like, 10 people showed up.
That guy is such a head case. Oh, my goodness.
The security guard who tackled him was the same security guard who tried to stop Gronkowski from getting in the WrestleMania match.
That is a quality security guard.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
put her against Rousey.
takes her job very seriously.
Oh, my gosh. I love it.
I just like the Gronk thing. Tries to go, no, and then like,
Hey, what are you
and
doing?
then everyone else like, no, he's part of the act. He's part of the act.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
No, he's got credentials to go through.
let's talk about Raw because that's what we're here for. It was a decent show. It was a lot better than weeks past. I will give that.
It was the best one in a while.
Yes, I will say that. So we had Seth. Oh, I have a lot to talk about in this opening segment. We had Seth Rollins in the ring to start the show. There were ladders, tables, and chairs all over the ring. They played Rollins music. This part was weird. Like every couple seconds, like the Burn It Down thing would play. It played like 5 times. I thought something was wrong with my feed. I was like, what's happening? Why is my feed like freaking out? Like, don't do this right before Raw starts. But it was, apparently that was the right thing. It was weird. I hope they don't add that to his theme. I like it just once. Rollins said that he was going to burn it down at TLC when he fights Dean Ambrose. But that was the theme tonight. He wasn't here to call out Ambrose, though he had a few words for Baron Corbin. So Corbin came out and was booed. He offered to have a private conversation with Rollins, saying like, hey, we can do this in the back. Rollins told him to shut up and listen. Rollins said he's been a little busy with Ambrose and hasn't had a chance to tell Corbin what he thinks of him. Quote, under your leadership, Monday Night Raw has sucked. And it has sucked because of you.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin playing the part of Vince McMahon tonight.
Yes, he is.
Literally. Seth literally went on to talk about how he put the title back on Brock. He's wasting the revival in these Lucha House Rule matches. He's hurting people, making people retire, all this fun, which was weird to say the retire thing because the Rhino thing, which wasn't TV continuity, but also apparently isn't real anymore. Apparently he's going to finish out his contract over the next couple months, so he's not officially retired anymore. Super weird. Anyway, he also brought up, I'm trying to see if I can find it. Corbin said, Yeah, Corbin said he allowed Rollins to vent but told him to watch his words. Rollins didn't care about his warning. He put over the talented roster in the back, which the crowd cheered. He put over the Revival, blah, blah, blah. And then he also brought up the urination segments, which apparently are for some reason Corbin's fault. But then again, we're just playing the part of Vince here. He also brought up the ratings.
Yep.
He said, I think he said lowest ratings in a while, or lowest ratings ever or something. He said something along the lines of terrible ratings. That is the part of this that I don't like. Because at what point am I supposed to start believing that this is real? Like, what am I... When they bring up real stuff like that, like TV ratings, where do I draw the line as far as, like, what's real and what's kayfabe, what's storyline? You know, I didn't...
Personally, I think that was more... I think probably what they said, it told Rollins, like, hey, here's some of the things, but, like, kind of like when Punk did, like, the pipe bomb, where they're like, hey, you can go out and do a shoot style, but then, like, went too far. Like, maybe, like, Rollins got all caught up in the heat of the moment. Maybe, like, they didn't want him to bring up the ratings, but then I think they brought it up later on.
I think that's definitely scripted.
I think so, too. That I don't know. I didn't like it that much. And I don't necessarily like them bringing up their failures like this.
I do.
Because it's literally like, hey, our show's been crap.
So they acknowledged it, which is a good thing. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing that they acknowledged it.
Okay.
Because usually when it comes to these situations, usually they just blow past by it and pretend that nothing happened.
All right, so, okay, let's break this down. Rollins talked about Corbin being the main focus of the show.
Yes.
Corbin was the main event this week.
Yes.
He talked about putting Alexa Bliss in charge and her doing her crappy talking segments, which they scheduled to do. Which, why are you going to schedule something like that if it's not going to happen?
It never happened. But
Putting Bliss in charge of the women's division, good idea, has been badly handled so far.
Yes, exactly. The Revival thing, while they didn't do a Lucha House Rule match, he said that the Revival are underutilized, and then they weren't on the show. Yep. They at least didn't do a urination segment, but they still did a really weird tag team thing. It was basically AOP House Rules. Or as a handicap match.
It was a 3-on-2 handicap match.
For the tag titles, though.
They still lost.
It's just frustrating that Drake Maverick in 205 Live is the GM and is probably looked at. I don't watch 205 Live, but I would assume is well respected and well liked. And now on the main roster, he's just been a complete joke because he's this little tiny person surrounded by two big guys.
We're going to get to that because I have some thoughts on that too. I don't know. What I took from this was at the beginning of the show when he was saying all this, I was like, oh, cool, they're acknowledging it and they're going to fix it. But then most of the things he said, they just did again. Like, they didn't fix anything. They just said, hey, we know what we're doing, but we're still going to keep doing it. I don't know.
I see both. I honestly see both your guys' argument. Yeah. I don't know how I truly feel about it because, like Tyler said, yes, I'm glad that they understand. Mm-hmm. Okay, it has been complete crap. We're going to try to fix it. But then also, too, I know we'll get into it, but they still did stuff nigh on a microphone. Mm-hmm. They didn't. They were advertised to do the open fans asking those two questions,
forum,
which they didn't do.
Okay, I'm actually kind of glad they didn't do that.
Which I'm glad they didn't, but they still advertised.
Me too. But why would you? You've done that segment twice in a row, and they've gotten terrible ratings. Why would you advertise a segment like that if you're not going to do it? Because people are just going to turn off before that segment. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's finish this segment.
Maybe because it had Ronda Rousey in it.
I guess, yeah.
Or maybe like if it's so bad, it'll be like if it's bad, you'll want to watch it just to see how bad it is.
They could have just done like Ronda and I are going to be face to face in the ring, like they do almost every other pay-per-view. I don't know. But anyway, Corbin said if he became permanent GM, he would put Rollins through hell, and Rollins dared him to do that tonight, challenged him to a match. Corbin brushed it off, and at one point Corbin said, oh, I feel bad because I've always wanted to do a TLC match, but, Strowman's going to have to forfeit, so I won't have a TLC match. Well, Rollins said, why not have one tonight? Corbin said, sure. Or no, at first, Corbin said no. Rollins called him a coward about 20 times.
I like that.
It was a little annoying. And then Corbin accepted, and Corbin added that it would be for the Intercontinental Championship because, of course, it's a ladder match. It has to have something up there. And Rollins seemed fine with that. All right. It was an okay open to the show. As far as a promo standpoint, I like the promo. It's Seth Rollins. He's great on the mic. So I enjoyed it.
It established, it showed that WWE was trying to reestablish Rollins as a main event player, which I really...
Which I like that they had him reference Brock Lesnar, because it seems to me like they're planting the seeds for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in his name. Like, you could literally go from Kingslayer to Beast Slayer.
Oh,
Architects,
they're gonna do that
whatever it is. You can call him anything.
The Kingslayer that can architect a plan.
And you guys already know that I like the acknowledgments of their bad failures these past few weeks, but Seth Rollins was the best guy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else was really worthy to acknowledge all that, maybe with the exception of Elias. But Elias is not as big of a star as Seth Rollins is.
True.
So when you think of it, it makes sense.
Backstage, Dasha asked Rollins if it was smart to get himself into this match. Rollins said probably not, but he wanted to be a leader for everyone on the roster. He had to take a stand, because if he didn't deserve the title. At that point, I kind of thought he was losing the title. But because of what happened next, I knew he wasn't going to. 3-on-2 handicap match. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode, with matching robes and tights, which I very much enjoyed, versus the AOP and Drake Maverick. This match went 8 minutes and 25 seconds, most of which were during commercial break.
Of course.
But towards the end of the match, AOP hit a super collider, and then Maverick tagged in because he wanted the pinfall, and he did a little glorious pose, went for the cover. Roode caught him in a crucifix pin for the win. Roode and Gable are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. I like this.
Damn right you are.
I like this a lot.
Damn right they are.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yes, I do.
They killed AOP. Like, they've just completely ruined them. So,
All because of Drake Maverick.
And here's my thought on that. Drake Maverick lost them the titles. I think next week, either they're going to do a beat-up segment and they're just going to ditch Drake Maverick, or they'll just show up next week without Drake Maverick.
Something's going to happen with Drake Maverick, and I
wouldn't mind if they just didn't show up with him and just never acknowledged it again.
They do need a manager, though, and
show up with Paul Ellering.
Yes,
he was good.
that's what I'm saying.
But I think the reason why they ditched Ellering is because he didn't want to do the travel.
That rumor was killed.
Oh.
He didn't mind. He didn't. It was literally at that point in time, Vince didn't like managers, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Look at all those little guys on 205. Let's make them managers."
I like Drake Maverick.
Yeah, I like Leo Rush. Yeah,
Leo Rush could manage.
Okay. Leo Rush can talk.
He can talk. No, I'm not.
Leo Rush is.
And Drake Maverick.
My man.
Drake Maverick is such a good performer. Rockstar Spud, as he's formerly known. He is such a good performer. It's just that WWE found the one thing that he couldn't get over, and that was urination segments.
Yeah.
He's so good, and that's why it's good that he's the 205 Live manager, because they could literally just say, okay, he's done with AOP, never going to bring it up again. He can just go back to being 205 Live manager, and he can do something there.
See, I think what they got to do is they got to rebrand AOP. How about just have them be the Authors of Pain again?
With Paul Ellering.
And then,
yeah, I agree.
The division right now just is a complete mess, and they got to just do something to reshape it.
It's been terrible ever since that Battle Royal for the WrestleMania match when Braun Strowman came in and squashed everyone. Ever since that moment, the Raw Tag Team titles have just been a complete joke.
And it also didn't help, too, that in the brand split that they lost the Bar and the New Day.
The Bar were the champions.
Right, but then the Bar's still
yeah, I see what you mean.
They got no one in return.
I think they got Slater and Rhino. What are you talking about? Oh man. McIntyre backstage. They asked McIntyre. Wait, what? Oh, okay. McIntyre was announced to face Dolph Ziggler later in the night, and they said McIntyre asked for this rematch as if he lost the title. Or as if he lost the title match. So, he was asking for a rematch, basically, for last week. And then they also mentioned that Finn Balor wasn't there because of injury, which apparently is real, because he was also pulled off of Mixed Match Challenge. And there's a possibility that he might not be at TLC.
He's sick.
He's
sickness?
He's sick.
returned
Never mind.
He does illness. He's fine.
Charlie Caruso asked Rude and Gable about their win. Rude said there hasn't been a lot of reason for hope on Raw lately. You're telling me.
Absolutely.
But they knew if they put in the hard work, they would become champs. Gable called it glorious. Next, we had a Natalya promo. I actually really enjoyed her promo. I thought she was very good. Now, the only part that I didn't like,
I just don't buy her.
she came out all smiley and happy.
And then she was all sad.
And then she was all sad and said that, normally I'm all smiley and happy. Yeah, and you still were tonight. So other than that, it was very good. She real emotions about her father passing a couple months ago. She did start to tear up. I thought it was a very good emotional promo. And then we had the Riot Squad come out. Sarah and Liv brought out the table, and then they just kind of Thanos'd away. they just kind of left. Ruby, I thought, cut a really good promo. She basically, in a nutshell, just said, LOL, your dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the details of it. I thought she delivered it very well. And then she said, I have this special gift for you, the gift that keeps on giving, an early Christmas present. And she unveiled the table, and it had what is it? It was like a fat head full poster of Jim Neidhart on it. And then Ruby said she would put Natalya through the table so that her and her father could be closer than ever. Wow. Anyway, they did that.
Yeah, that's
There were 2 moments in this show that were like that. I'm sure you guys can think of the other one.
Yikes.
This one, yeah, that one was like, ugh, I don't know if I liked that.
No, that was not good.
Yeah. I don't know. They had to create. There was a line that Natalya had that said, Ruby destroyed my father's legacy when she broke those sunglasses. What? Honestly, when I picture Jim Neidhart, I don't even picture sunglasses on him. Like, that was a terrible line. It was a terrible line.
See,
no one's really cared about this program from the start anyway.
Which one?
I care about it because I like Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
It's lasted way too long, and it's just like they're trying to inject
interest.
It's just a mid-card feud, and I think
lower-card
WWE's got to realize that. You want to know what? Not every feud can be bloodthirst.
This has been going on since the summer.
Why not make this a number one contenders feud?
And it's been going on and off since, and they just have never really killed it.
Honestly,
why don't they do number one contender feuds anymore?
That'd be really nice too, because they're both capable performers, and you could go. They were planting the seeds for Natalya versus Ronda, and then could you imagine Ronda versus Riott?
Exactly.
How good of a match that could be.
I think that would be a
could
really
make
good
Riott a
match.
star.
I agree. I completely agree.
By the way, how'd that application go for WWE?
I haven't heard anything.
Creative, no.
No, unfortunately.
You sent in an application?
Oh yeah, there was a creative thing application. There was a job opening. And I sent in my application.
Could you imagine? It's just it's just a questionnaire. Do you enjoy potty humor? Circle yes or no. Yes.
I would be able to
You're
pass
hired.
that test. You just have to think like Vince McMahon, and then you're hired.
Yeah. True.
Then we had Ziggler doing a selfie promo. He said you can add McIntyre to the long list of people who took him for granted. He picked McIntyre from obscurity, and he could send him back tonight. Ziggler said he wasn't the good guy. He wasn't the bad guy. He's just Dolph Ziggler.
I was hoping he was going to go with.
I thought he was going to say it. I was like...
Not a good guy, not a bad guy.
I was like, don't say that.
Ziggler.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Which also, why? Why not?
I'm Dolph Ziggler, yeah.
Actually, I'm okay with this.
I'm a mid-carder. That's
Right.
me.
I did like him saying this, though, because a lot of people... excuse me. A lot of people thought he turned babyface last week. I'm glad he's not turning babyface. I don't want to see Dolph Ziggler in 2018 be a babyface. I just don't think it'll work. I think he's a much better heel. So this was a really good way to do it. He's basically a tweener now. He also didn't understand Balor trying to help because he didn't need it. He advised McIntyre to remember who he's facing tonight. Cool. So wait, last week McIntyre pretended that Dolph was Finn. So does that mean Finn beat Drew last week?
Who knows, man?
Essentially. That's what I'm going to go with, at least.
We're all kind of confused right now.
Oh, man. So then we got Drew versus Dolph. 8-minute match, I guess. Caruso was in the ring before the match to ask McIntyre why he would ask for the rematch this close to facing Balor. McIntyre said he wasn't like the rest of the boys in the back and that he was the only real man left. He said nobody stays undefeated forever, not Andre, not Undertaker at Mania, not even himself. McIntyre said that losing just made him more dangerous. Just ask Finn Balor. And then he told the fans that they should listen when he speaks and warned Ziggler he was about to get his head kicked off, which he absolutely did.
Yes, he did.
Beautiful Claymore out of nowhere. Oh, I love that move so much. So they recreated the spot from last week where Drew just beats the 10 count and then Dolph goes for the super kick, except this week Dolph was too fatigued. Yeah, he was too fatigued and he collapsed during the super kick, and then he went for another super kick a couple minutes later, and Drew hit him with the Claymore, which was just amazing. And yeah, 1, 2, 3. There was a really good zigzag near fall too. These two put out really good matches. I like this. Other than that, I'm just interested to see what they do on Sunday. Hopefully Finn will be better. And that's probably why they pulled him from this weekend, so that he can just rest up.
That's why they did. Yeah.
So hopefully he can be there. If not, that's okay. There's 11 matches and probably 2 more are going to be announced.
Is there anyone in this room who actually thinks that Finn Balor is going to pull it off?
No.
No. Not a chance.
No.
Cal, what do you think?
Yeah, no.
I thought you were going to say yes, actually.
Unless he comes out as the demon. Then there's potential.
There's potential.
But then I don't know what to do.
They need to build McIntyre.
Yeah.
They need to build McIntyre, unfortunately, for Finn's sake. Then we had, God, this was weird, Bayley with Sasha against Alicia with Jinder and the Singh brothers. This was super weird because Bayley and Sasha came out, and then it was like, is this going to be a tag match? I'm like, I don't know. And then Jinder came out, and I was like, and then I thought, honestly, I would like to see Sasha and Bayley versus the Sunils, or versus the Singhs, I mean. That would actually be very entertaining.
Well, they did Becky Lynch versus James Ellsworth, and that was pretty good.
True.
They could have done that.
I completely agree. But no, yeah, so we had Alicia versus Bayley. Jinder and the Singh brothers tried to interfere, and Apollo Crews came to make the save with Sasha because Apollo Crews is replacing Finn in the Mixed Match Challenge with Bayley. The Mixed Match Challenge is just a mess. What even happened at the end? Bayley to belly.
Oh, and Apollo picked up Sasha and tossed her into
Did you see the details of that pickup?
Yes, I did.
There was definite.
Here, I'll just show you.
I'll quote Friends. There was definite cupping by Apollo Crews because he hit he had Sasha in a gorilla press.
Yes.
I'll just put it that way. Think about a gorilla press for a sec. Yeah.
And on top of that, Jinder and the Sin brothers were like standing there wobbling for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was bad.
It was bad. We never said that they were good. Do you have a picture of it? I haven't. Wow, that's worse than I thought it was. Anyway, that's cool. Backstage. We don't need to talk about that match. Backstage, Charlie Caruso interviewed Ambrose and introduced him as the Lunatic Fringe. Ambrose told her not to call him that. I thought we've established this. He added that Rollins gave him himself the Architect nickname to keep the spotlight on himself. And Rollins was losing control, which is why he got himself into the match tonight. Ambrose stopped short of calling Rollins a piece of poop. I had to change the language on that one. Caruso asked...
He never said it.
I know. I think that's I don't know who writes this. Probably Alvarez. Caruso asked Ambrose what he thought Roman Reigns would think of all this. And Ambrose replied, Roman? Who cares?
Ouch.
At that point, I was like, okay, come on. Like, although it gave me hope that they're going away from the whole sickness angle and they're going back to, confused heel about, grieving and stuff.
Yeah.
I hope that's what they're going back to. Because then after Charlie Caruso then played him the video package, which basically is just the whole heel turn and going into current day. And the video package didn't have the shots in Milwaukee that we saw. and it didn't have the whole Bane stuff from last week. It had the entrance, but it didn't have the promo, and it didn't have the hide and seek stuff either. So hopefully that means that they're going back to what they were originally doing. We'll see, I guess. Way to change the storyline on the Go Home show. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys? Are you guys excited for this match? Like I was more excited when they first announced the match at Survivor Series.
It could have been. Honestly,
my
like
interest
I lost interest when they how they just announced it. Like, oh, it's just gonna be at TLC. Like, you guys are gonna have like a match instead of like it being like serious fighting, and then like one of them challenges the other one.
Exactly.
They're just like it makes sense like logically like what they did like on paper, but then like execution was just terrible. And I mean, there's just been so many just weird moments in it, and then they had to deal with everything throughout Survivor Series with like trying to build Nakamura versus Rollins, and then still build Rollins versus Steen. And I'm excited to see. They can steal the show. Let's be honest, they can steal the show, but like the build's been just not good so far.
Yeah.
For what the type of this is your main event feud. This isn't a Natalya versus Ruby Riott. This is a main event feud.
I think the SmackDown Women's Triple Threat is going to steal the show, personally. But this one definitely could. It has the makings.
Even the Triple Threat tag team match, too, can.
That'll probably end up on the pre-show, honestly. Or it'll just get 5 minutes of time. I don't see... With this stacked card, I can only see like 2 matches.
Honestly, I think Ruby and Natalya will get put on the pre-show.
I think they're going to announce Shinsuke and Rusev for the pre-show tonight.
I mean, they can do multiple on the pre-show, too. So.
That's true, too. Then we had Elias in the ring. He claimed that Bobby Lashley did a radio interview where he stated every sports team in San Diego should move to L.A. They basically already have. Elias sucked up to the crowd by saying Lashley shouldn't be allowed to perform in San Diego. Okay. It was weird. He was trying to do a local sports team. He was trying to say that that Bobby was bashing the local sports team. It was weird. It didn't land well.
Yeah,
the crowd didn't react to it.
It came off weird.
Yeah, the crowd didn't react. Elias also said he'd rather perform in a place like the Gas Lamp District. Okay.
Which is probably in
San Diego, yeah. Than in front of LA Trash. Why would you have him say that? Because now next time he goes to LA,
they have to work around that.
Elias, now a babyface, said he wanted to perform, but first advised everyone to turn off their phones and shut their mouths. I noticed that too. He hasn't said that to the crowd since turning babyface.
Normally he gets interrupted or something, or he'll interrupt someone.
So he tells them to shut their mouths. But now he said it to the crowd again.
I love Elias, but it was just a weird segment.
It was very weird. The crowd clapped along to the performance until it was interrupted by Lashley and Rush. It says,
"Take a good hard look at the big man."
It literally says here,
Bobby Lashley.
Elias is a very strange babyface. I completely agree. Then we had Lio Rush with Bobby Lashley taking on Elias in a 4-minute match.
Take a good hard look at the big man.
At the little man.
Go ahead.
Heath Slater came out.
Him.
No music to officiate the match. Rush got a few moments to shine. It was basically Elias throwing Rush around the ring. So what happened was Lashley... Oh, no. Okay, so Elias hit Rush with a sit-out powerbomb, and he had the match won. He was going for a pin. Lashley came in and broke up the cover. Slater didn't call for the disqualification. Lashley continued to beat up Elias. Slater was about to call for the DQ, but Lashley stopped him. He basically intimidated Slater into not calling a DQ, and then he smashed Elias's guitar over Elias's back. Rush covered him for the win, and Slater reluctantly counted the fall. So the story was that Slater didn't want to stop Lashley, given his relationship with Corbin, because he's afraid for his job, basically.
Right. Yep.
So,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Heath Slater did an amazing role in this. Like, I thought this was going to be a comedy gimmick, and it's actually like a drama gimmick. where like he's
Been-
scared for his life, and
It's good so far.
and
I'll
he,
give him
he
credit.
did really well in his 2 segments tonight. I thought he just did amazing. I really am interested in this storyline with him. In the locker room, Corbin sarcastically asked Slater how Rhino was doing. I thought that was kind of funny. Slater was about to move his shirt, but Corbin told him he had one more match to officiate tonight. Ooh. Yeah. I wonder what match.
The main event.
Bailey versus Alicia Fox.
Silly Tyler main event was recorded before Raw. Anyway, it's a dumb joke. I'm sorry. Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax face to face, moderated by Alexa Bliss. It was supposed to be what? It was a bad joke. Cut me some slack.
We're just kidding.
So Bliss came out. She didn't say anything. Jax and Tamina came out.
What was the point of having Bliss out there?
That's what I'm saying. Why advertise this segment?
It's not even that. It's not even like.
Stupid. She didn't say anything. She held a mic in her hand.
And then she left.
And then she left when Ronda came out.
Actually, yeah.
It was literally just to have her on TV.
I don't know.
I just don't. I don't get it.
I was a little confused by that too.
I don't get it. Jax. Nia. Okay, Nia's promo started off decent, as good as a Nia Jax promo can be. But then she just droned on and on,
Yep.
and then she screamed in my ear, and I wanted to turn the TV off, and then she just droned on for a little longer. Oh my god, it was way too long of a promo, especially for Nia Jax.
She's terrible in the microphone.
All she said was that
the heel
she's.
heat is worn out on
It
her.
really has.
It really
Every
is.
time she brings up the hand, it's just like, okay.
One of the dudes on Wrestle Talk thinks that they weren't booing Nia, they were just reverse cheering Becky. It was like, you hurt Becky? Boo! But now it's like, you have nothing to do with Becky anymore, so we don't care.
Right.
Which I could fully see.
Ask her if she wiped off all of Becky's blood off her fist.
3 weeks after it happened, she said that she finally washed her hands.
That's so
And then
gross.
I still yell, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is gross.
Oh man, no, and basically what Nia said was, I'm bigger than you. You may be a fighter, but I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna break your face. I'm gonna punch you so much that you're gonna tap out. Nia obviously doesn't watch wrestling because that's not how it works. You have to throw in a towel if you want to do that. It was just bad. And yeah, I don't know what her screaming was. I don't even remember what she says anymore. I think it was something about the title, my title, or something.
Yeah,
something
Literally
like that.
a high-pitched like,
Loud
scream.
Loud noises.
Oh god, it was terrible.
It's like something you see in a horror movie.
Ugh, it was just bad. So then Rousey came out. Thank God. And this was really good. This is the Ronda Rousey that I've been looking for since WrestleMania. She came out, no smile on her face, a microphone in her hand. During her music, she was just like, I didn't come out here to talk, I came to fight. Threw the mic, took off her jacket, ran in the ring. This was great. I loved it. But then the heels ran off. Stupid. And then...
I like how one ran off and then circled the ring again. And it's like, why not just get her like while she's like down on the ground in the ring, like, and then team up on her?
Exactly. My favorite part was that they were on the 2 sides of the ring, the hard cam and the opposite side of hard cam. And the announcers literally said they have her surrounded.
She could
They have the ring completely surrounded. There are 2 open sides to the ring. And like, I get that they used to say that with the Shield too. It's like,
Or
okay,
the
but
Nexus,
there's exactly. Like, but like with the Shield, there's only 3, and so they would circle the ring. It's like, okay, the guy can just leave through there. Like, now there's only 2 people. So it's just stupid.
I can't wait till someone comes in. It's just one person. They're like, they have the ring surrounded.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. And then Ember came out for the save, and then they went to commercial. Cool. MMC, don't need to talk about that. Ember Moon versus Tamina. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so I think they wanted to advertise that segment with Ronda because they didn't actually have anything planned for Ronda. but they had this match planned, and they were like, how can we get to this match where people might actually want to watch it? So they were like, Nia and Ronda are going to have face-to-face. Just kidding. Here's a match of Ember Moon and Tamina. I really think that's how it happened. I don't know. But then again, people are like, oh, that's what you're giving me? Change the channel.
Yeah.
It was not a good match.
It was not.
Tamina is not good.
No, she's not a good wrestler.
Which is really sad because I really like Ember.
Hey, I mean, okay, to be fair, yeah, Tamina sucks. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
She sucks.
At least she didn't take the pit. At least Ember didn't get
Yeah,
pinned this
Ember
time.
had the eclipse
Ember's
with
been
it,
heating
so.
up lately, so which is nice. She actually started her momentum in Milwaukee. Just remember that.
No, you're right.
She had Kurt Hawkins on her side, and she beat Alicia Fox.
Also,
Completely right.
too, I know this is completely random, but the guys that were sitting next to me, when No Way Jose was out there,
Oh my god.
they're like, "What? No way, Jose can't lose. There's just no way." And I just went, "Jose," and he's like, "Hey, nice," and we fist pumped. It was nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, so Moon won with the eclipse. Michael Cole said that because of this Ember Moon win, Ronda Rousey has all the momentum going into TLC.
Sure.
Cool.
Cool.
Because momentum. They need to make a momentum championship. They talk about it so much.
Yeah. Honestly,
Stupid.
do it tomorrow. Make the momentum championship. Whatever that is.
Caruso asked Corbin if this match tonight was an abuse of power. I can tell you right now it wasn't because Rollins asked for the match. Stupid question. Next. Corbin literally looked at her and said, that was a loaded question. Are you trying to get yourself shipped to SmackDown? And I was like, yes, please send Charlie to SmackDown.
Also, too, I would like to put. I like when Corbin does stuff like that because
Yeah.
honestly, I was doing some thinking, and I remember watching a clip back of Jim Ross quitting Raw when like Eric Bischoff was at head of the Power, and I think like doing something like that where like you get rid of like fan favorites or like take them off screen makes Corbin's. And I was thinking
absolutely.
with how I was griping earlier about the announce team, and we were talking about Renee Young. Like, could you imagine the heel heat Corbin would get? Like, oh, Renee, I noticed you're against me on commentary. Like,
We're going to have JBL fill in for you
or
tonight.
like you're fired, and then it's a 2-man team, and like you know how much everyone loves Renee. So
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
And like you
Although-
like I mean keep her backstage for a little bit, and then when
Renee's
Corbin gets ousted from Power, they could bring back like Renee.
Renee hasn't been good lately, to
I
be
know.
honest. She's
But-
better backstage or on Talking Smack. Should bring that back. Let's see here. What else happened? She asked if he was worried that Strowman would show up Sunday because there were rumors going around. Because Vince actually pays attention to the internet, I think. Corbin wondered if she got that from Twitter or Instagram and said she was smarter than that. Corbin said Strowman is the one-armed man because of him and warned Rollins of what was to come. Corbin said that it would be all hail Corbin after TLC. The announcers ran down the TLC card. Cole said that he had breaking news and announced that Elias versus Lashley would be a ladder match. And what's hanging up in that ladder match, you might ask? A guitar. Oh, so you win when you grab the guitar? Nope. You grab the guitar and you use it as a weapon, and then it's a pinfall. I give up. It's literally a freaking guitar on a pole match. Ugh, ridiculous.
It is stupid. I agree.
So then we have the TLC match. Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins. Heath Slater walks out as the referee. Why do you need a referee?
I like how Cole brought that up. That was
And they
actually
did, which was good. Why do you need a ref in a TLC match? There's no pinfalls. In which someone, I think it was Corey.
It was Cole.
Was it Cole that? Okay. So,
That is something up his sleeve.
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Corey, someone brilliantly explained that you need a referee out there because it's a title match. They need to ring the bell and declare the new guy the champion, or whoever wins the champion. I was like, okay, that's great. I really like that. I'm glad they brought it up. So, really good match, actually.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, it's Seth Rollins. I was worried because it's
and
Corbin.
tables, ladders, and chairs.
Exactly. TLC stipulations always help. But it was Rollins, so it was a good match. I was worried because it was Corbin, but he pulled it off, I think. The Heath Slater element was amazing because Seth had it won at one point, and Slater pushed the ladder over and then
They had
helped
me.
Corbin
They
in.
had me on the edge of my seat.
I-
I honestly
see, that's
thought
the thing.
Corbin was
They had
gonna
me
win.
fooled. They had me fooled.
They had me fooled. I legitimately, I was like, I was literally sitting there. Please don't do it. Please don't give Corbin that. Please don't do it.
I was like, they're gonna give Corbin the IC championship.
He was at the top and he was reaching for it. And I was like, they're gonna give it to him. I was so upset. They worked me.
I
have to
also
admit.
really like the spot too of Rollins jumping from the rope onto the ladder.
Always a great spot.
Yep.
But then eventually Rollins hit Slater with a super kick, which was good because Slater kind of stood there and took it. He was just like, yeah, I deserve this. It was really good. And then a curb stomp on Corbin, and then just ran up the ladder and grabbed the title for the win. Pretty good.
Good.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
The crowd was on
good,
Rollins' side too. Like,
Crowd
it
was-
Crowd was
super hot
hot.
for it.
Crowd was hot for that match. Yep.
Just for that match, but yes, they were super hot.
That was
And then
it was the hottest Raw crowd we've seen in about a month.
I agree.
Yeah.
So then we had, to end the show, Ambrose sauntered out onto the stage and stared down Rollins as the show ended. The crowd was into this, especially at the end, and popped big for Rollins coming back and winning. Yeah. Overall, good show. Really good show.
Yeah.
I'd say, from a Raw standpoint, over the last couple weeks, compared to those, this was a really good show. I enjoyed it. There's going to be flaws because it's WWE and they're short on talent right now. But you know what? For what they had to work with, this was a good. I didn't find myself this week, other than Nia Jax screaming in my ear, I did not find myself wanting to turn this off at all. I didn't find myself, waiting or wanting it to be Tuesday. I didn't find myself, last week at 9:00. I was like, oh God, there's another hour. I didn't find myself doing that this week. It flowed pretty well this week, I thought. So, yeah, I was very impressed. What do you guys think? Overall. And how excited are you for TLC?
I'm more excited than I was last week. Let's
I
put it
agree.
that way.
More excited for the Raw matches. I was already excited for SmackDown.
Yes. To be particular,
Yeah.
yes, for the Raw matches. I mean, I've seen much better than last night, but it was the best we've seen in a while, about a month since Survivor Series. So I'll give it a 3. If we're doing a 5-point scale, I'll give it a 3.
I'll give it 2.5, just because I want to give it a 3, just because.
Wow. Yeah. I gave it a 2.5 last week.
Fine, I'll give it a 3. Then.
No, I mean,
it's just
you
like
can keep your opinion. It's fine.
Like if it's just like if you looked at it from the numbers of hey, this is the Raw you watch. There's some good stuff in there, but there's still a lot of just stuff that you could honestly skip over.
It's
and just honestly, how I talked about earlier, if you turn in a really bad first draft, and then you turn in a good research paper,
Yeah.
it's gonna look a lot better. That's what this Raw honestly was like.
That's how I feel with SmackDown every week.
The first couple were honestly just so god awful. Anything that's decent
yeah.
looks amazing. So I'm trying not to give it great. Let that influence my grading.
And you have to remember also that as we know how bad Raw has been the past few weeks, but you have to remember that it's really unfortunate how they got to this spot.
Yeah, true.
Because Roman's going to be out for Lord knows how long.
Strowman's out for a
Strowman,
while.
And Strowman is not going to be back probably till January. So, and that's 2 of their top guys out. And plus, they didn't have Balor this week, so that's 3 top guys.
Yeah.
They
But
re-
also,
they really,
too, that's on WWE for
And
relying on
Lesnar.
part-timers and, not making stars.
Yes, true.
It's completely
And also one more thing. Boy, John Cena cannot come back any sooner. They need him so bad
Royal
right
Rumble,
now.
baby.
They need him so bad right now. Thank God he's working Raw because SmackDown's fine. SmackDown's in good shape right now.
Prediction, real quick. Does Lars Sullivan show up at TLC?
I'm gonna say no.
No?
I'm gonna say he's gonna get called up on a Raw.
I'm going to say no, too, just because they really like to draw out these video packages for super long time. So probably next year is when he'll debut.
Really wouldn't.
I feel like honestly Royal Rumble is when he'll debate.
It really wouldn't
Debut.
make sense if he debuted on TLC because
No. We didn't bring it up, but I'll bring it up real quick. He has a new video package. Lars is lurking.
Ooh.
He's no longer coming. He's lurking.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Stupid. 2.5 out of 5 for me. Thank you for listening. We got SmackDown tomorrow evening, I guess, 4 o'clock. So join me for that. If you missed any of the show, it's up on YouTube, First Round KO. SmackDown will also be up there tomorrow. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you guys for coming on, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Give us a follow on Twitter. Links in the description down below. And make sure you listen to our podcast, First Round KO, on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher.
Until next time, peace.